Hello, this is the weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, June 30th. So the key points that we'd like to go over is we're still expecting fairly warm temperatures continuing through the rest of the week and into the weekend. We are expecting now isolated scattered thunderstorms developing today and once again continuing through the week. And there is a possibility that some locally heavy rain may be possible in some of these thunderstorms, especially on Thursday and Friday. So here's looking at a current satellite loop, and we had a complex of storms that went through the Upper Snake Plain and the Central Mountains last night. That was completely well forecasted and totally expected. There is still an area of high pressure that's over Canada. That is a little bit slightly further north than we expected, and we have now an area of low pressure that's developed over Utah, and this is a little bit stronger than we were expecting, and so it looks like the potential for additional clouds and also potentially thunderstorms, especially as we move through the week, is a lot better than what we were looking at a few days ago. We were thinking this high was going to dominate our weather. Instead, it's moved far enough north that it's actually sucked in this area of low pressure in here, and looks like it's going to produce a little bit of a reprieve to the heat and possibly introduce some moisture to the area as well. So here's the weather and impacts outlook. Noticing that our impact levels are all pretty minor for the most part. Still looking at warm above normal conditions across the area with isolated to scattered thunderstorms possible, especially across our high country. Looking at our high temperatures today, the temperatures have come down. Forecast highs have come down by a couple degrees more across the region, and for that reason we dropped some of the heat advisories that were in effect across portions of the area. Although you will notice there were still some heat advisories in effect for down across the Magic Valley and also up around the Chalice Lemhi region. This is looking at our min humidity forecast for today, and humidity levels generally expected to be in teens in the 20s with that increase in the moisture, especially over Utah. Areas across the southern highlands seeing humidity levels a little bit higher than what we saw yesterday even. Looking at our wind speeds for this afternoon, our winds are starting to turn back southerly slightly again, but still not overly strong. So any fires that developed last night from the thunderstorms probably are not going to carry too much today, with the winds expected to be somewhat lighter. Just looking at a high temperature forecast for Thursday. Once again, with that low pressure system hanging around the area, highs expected to be a little bit cooler than what we were anticipating. Generally looking at highs in the low 90s with 80s in the high country. Min humidities generally in the 20s across the area with the additional clouds and the slightly cooler temperatures. Wind speeds Thursday still relatively unimpressive. And this is what we're a little concerned of, is the winds might actually be a little bit too light. So with the kind of relatively muggy air that we have in place across the area and these thunderstorms not moving a whole lot, there is a slight potential that we could see some locally heavily rains possible in some of the areas. So there could be some isolated potentials for debris flow or flash flooding. Once again, this is not probably a widespread thing, but something to keep in mind of. If you get a thunderstorm, it could be raining on top of you for a while. He's looking at our high temperatures for Friday. Once again, just maybe a smidge warmer, not a whole lot of difference. Humidity levels not too different, generally in the 20s, maybe an axis of teens across the Arco Desert. And then looking at wind speeds Friday, once again, not a whole lot of movement here going on. So any thunderstorms that develop once again Friday, not going to move a whole lot. And in terms of the widespread rainfall amounts now through Saturday, not much. Generally less than 1/4 inch. Widespread rainfall. However, once again, if you happen to get the right thunderstorm, hangs up on the right place, could see rainfall amounts a lot heavier than that. So just be aware of that. So in summary, above normal temperatures continuing into the weekend, isolated to scattered thunderstorms expected now into the weekend, and some very locally heavy rain is possible, especially Thursday and Friday. So that concludes this morning's briefings, and if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Thank you.